A press conference by Kerala Governor Arif Mohammad Khan has escalated the already simmering tensions between the Pinarayi Vijayan government in the state of Kerala and the governor's office. Apart from rejecting about a dozen ordinances and orders, the governor clearly hinted today that he may not give assent to the two controversial acts that have been passed by the Assembly. That is the Lokayukt Amendment Bill and the University Laws Amendment Bill. Both these laws are the key flashpoints right now. As the tensions escalate between the office of the Chief Minister and the Governor's office, it's an intricate constitutional balance that has been thrown off. Is the elected government of the day justified in diluting the provisions of the Lokayukt Act, which has been instrumental in checking corruption? And to the Governor's office is an open press conference and stinging political allegations behove the office of the Governor. First up, a special report.
You can't shout me down. You can't shout me down. You can't shout me down.
Kerala Governor versus government fight has been reignited after Arif Mohammad Khan released what he called as evidence against Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Arif Mohammad Khan claims that Chief Minister Vijayan had given specific instructions to not take police action against a protest against the governor at Kannur University back in 2019. This protest, according to Khan, was part of a conspiracy against him.
Whatever happened at Kannur happened in the presence of more than 100 police personnel. But in the same video you will see a senior functionary, political functionary, who now works in the office of the Chief Minister. He is preventing the police from acting. This is a cognizable offence. This is not non-cognizable.
To back these claims, Arif Mohammad Khan shared clippings of him being allegedly heckled by protesters at the university, showing people working for the Chief Minister, preventing the police from doing their duty.
Instead of doing anything for the people of Kerala, instead of developing the infrastructure, all their attention is focused on silencing those who differ with them. You are going to cut my powers? Who are you?
The LDF was quick to react to the governor's claims. They hit back at Khan, saying that the governor is having sudden outbursts and should act according to his age.
വിദ്യാഭ്യാസത്തിനനുസരിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള പാകതയും ഒരു ഭരണതന്ത്രജ്ഞൻ എന്നുള്ള നിലയിലുള്ള ഉത്തരവാദിത്വ ബോധവും ഒന്നും നിർവഹിക്കാതെ.
The CPIM even went on to say that the governor is an RSS man who just wants to target minorities.
ഒരർത്ഥത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഗവർണർ RSSകാരനാണ്. അത് കേരളത്തിൽ അനുവദിക്കില്ല. കാരണം മതനിരപേക്ഷതയുടെ നാടാണ് കേരളം.
Now, this is not the first time that Kerala governor and the government have stood against each other. The fight is going on since 2019 when Arif Mohammad Khan was made the governor of Kerala. The biggest question now arises is who has really crossed the line? Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
Well, at the heart of this entire debate is the role of the office of the governor, which is a very coveted position under Indian constitution. Let's give you a perspective how the relationship between Arif Mohammad Khan, the governor appointed in 2019, and the Pinarayi Vijayan government has been for all these years. The key flashpoints. In 2020, the governor opposed the government resolution against the CAA. It was this year that the protests against the CAA had rocked the entire country and the assembly had passed the resolution. The governor alleges that the government is interfering in the appointment of the vice chancellors. The powers which have been endowed to the governor, he's not allowed to exercise those powers. The governor refuses to give nod to about 11 ordinances, and one of them was, of course, the ordinance pertaining to the Lokayukt Act, which has now been converted into a bill. 2022, the governor stayed the appointment of Priya Varghese in Kannur University, something that went to the High Court as well, and the High Court, of course, heard this entire matter. This was allegedly a person related to the left parties, and their appointment was bad in law. That's the argument. The government calls Kannur University VC a CPIM goon. On the other side, the Chief Minister's officers said that they don't want the Sangh to interfere into the workings of the university. the face-off over the University Law Amendment Bill 2022. This once again, the panel of selection, the selection panel, which originally had about 3 members, that has been brought to 5 members. And the argument of the governor is that it unduly infringes upon the power of the governor and gives undue power to the state government. Who exactly is crossing the line in this intricate constitutional balance that should be there between the elected governor, government of the day, and the governor's office for a smooth functioning of a state law and order machinery and the state machinery overall? Clearly that balance has been thrown off and it doesn't seem to get any better. Let's take this question to our panel of guests who are joining us on the broadcast. We have Dr. K.S. Radhakrishnan, the spokesperson of the BJP, who will join us in just a few minutes from now. We also have Professor Dinesh Varshney, who is the leader of the CPI. He's also joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Biju Govind, who's from the Hindu, is also with us. Thank you both of you for joining us on the show. Professor Varshney, coming to you first. The governor today made some stinging allegations against the elected government of the day. And these allegations go at the heart of the functioning, the manner in which the present government is functioning. They're saying that you are diluting the powers of the governor, unduly infringing upon them, and more importantly, you're also refusing to take any kind of action. The government is refusing to take any kind of action against people who allegedly assaulted him back in 2019.
Okay, Anusha, let me have a point-wise rebuttal to what Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan has said today.
Sure.
First, Mr. Arif Mohammad Khan, the Honorable Governor of Kerala, should know the India has a parliamentary form of government, not the presidential form of government. The governor is just a constitutional head of the state. He is not the chief minister of the state. He has not been elected. He has been appointed by Honorable President of India on behalf of the President of India to look after the constitutional proprieties in the state, which he is always allowed to do. Number 2, if a governor say a vice chancellor of the university, a goon, do you think is it an appropriate language? I don't approve it as a professor also. I don't approve it as a civil citizen also. Number 3, if everybody in the world will laugh that Professor Irfan Habib attacked, now the video shows that which you have shown. He objected always in the academic bodies. The governor was bypassing the mandate where he has been invited as a chief guest at the Indian History Congress at Kannur. There the delegates objected about his falsification of history. Today in the press conference also he said that this government is alluding the class enemies, all opposition. Opposition parties are not our class enemies. The class enemies of communists is the capitalism. That is how he falsified the history at Kannur History Congress.
Professor Varshney, I have 2 very specific questions to ask you. Let's begin with the first question. You rightly said that the office of the governor is a very coveted position under the Indian Constitution. You're right, he's not the elected chief minister. He's supposed to uphold the constitutional propriety. While here's the argument. Here's the argument that Arif Mohammad Khan is making. Look at the Lokayukt Amendment Bill and the manner in which the powers of the ombudsman has been diluted. In fact, this ordinance was once again renewed and the governor refused to sign it. The manner in which the present government has tried to dilute the provisions of the Lokayukt Act, is that really fair? Is that really something that behoved the government of the day? And is the governor not right in protecting the constitutional morality? For the simple reason that there should be checks and balances on the elected government of the day. And that's exactly what the mandate of governor under the constitutional scheme is.
Agreed, Anusha. I would like to know what is the laws for the Lokayukt and the BJP rule state. Let the BJP spokesperson quote those laws also.
And does that make your action any better? Because just a few seconds ago, we were talking about constitutional morality, sir. And you cannot have shifting goalposts of morality, Professor Varshney.
What we have done in the Lokayukta bill is the corrective measures, not reducing the power of the Honorable Lokayukta. And you know, corrupt, as per the Planning Commission, as per the Niti Aayog, Kerala is the least corrupt state in the country.
And I think one of the reasons could be because you had a very strong ombudsman. You are killing the reason now, aren't you?
UP, other state ruled by the BJP. We would like to know the